everybody, I'm back with another cooking lesson. It's Mrs. Stratoti or Miss Sue, and today we are making a classic family recipe from my mother, the Niccoli family. That's my maiden name, and it's called pudding with graham crackers. I grew up on this recipe. I love it. My kids had it. My husband loves it. I've made it in school, and it typically is a big hit. So for the visuals, what we start with is pudding, not instant. Cook and serve pudding. I use 1 box of chocolate, 1 box of vanilla, because that's what my mother always did. We need some milk, and the milk that you need is 2 cups for each box, according to the recipe on your box. So parents, read the recipe. My older kids, please read the recipe, and that's how much milk you need. Today I'll be using 4 cups because each box calls for 2 cups. We need some graham crackers. We need a stove. And then the rest of the visuals are more of the directions. Stir, put it in a pan. We're gonna layer the graham cracker, then the pudding, then the graham cracker, then the pudding. Then we're going to crush some graham crackers on top. You'll see all this as we go along. All of these have great vocabulary words for your kids. Think about the word layer. Think about the word crush. And we'll sprinkle. There's another word we talked about sprinkle in other videos. We'll put it in the refrigerator and let it cool off. And then of course the best part is we get to eat it later tonight. So here we go. We start with the pan and a whisk. We put them on the stove. We turn it up to almost high, and we are gonna add 4 cups of milk. This is a 2-cup measuring cup. So we're gonna do this twice. For the older kids or younger, elementary school kids, have them do the math with how many cups do you need. Look for the numbers on the container. So we need 4 cups. Pour it. Let the children pour it. I know the kids in my classes at the Downey School, they love doing all the work. Sometimes, as I've said in the past, we have to do some hand over hand. Next we have Jell-O. As I said, 1 vanilla and 1 chocolate. You can let the kids open them up. If you trust them, let them open them up, let them pour it in. This is not hot yet. You can tell them it's cold. You can tell them it's safe. So we're gonna pour 1 in, and then you wanna mix it. If you wanna look over in closely, come a little closer, you can look and see how you have to mix it. You can see how the chocolate is on top, and as you stir, it mixes in. And we'll come back to this again as it's stirring. One of the key things to remember when you're making pudding is you have to stir the milk. Now we have the vanilla, and the vanilla, we're gonna do the same thing. The chocolate's almost mixed in. We're gonna let a student, you can let a child open this up. I would let the kids do it. And we're going to pour it in. And they can see that this one is not chocolate. You can talk about that. Oh, this is vanilla. This is not chocolate. Talk about negation with some of these young children. Not which one is not chocolate. So we're gonna pour it in, and it's already starting to get hot. We're gonna talk about hot versus cold. So we'll move that while it's cooking. I'm not gonna leave it very long. So what you probably should do before you even start, I probably should have done this, is you open up your graham crackers. Now, if I was in school, these would be open, and I would be passing these out to give the kids something to eat, because everybody likes something to eat. So now I'm gonna take the graham crackers, and I'm gonna layer the graham crackers on the bottom of my plate. So you put 1, 2, 3 on the bottom, and then there's still a little bit of space left so I can break these up, because if you look at the graham crackers, you can use fractions, even though I just broke them. And so 1 graham cracker can be broken up into 4 sections. Doesn't really look it this way, but it will. I'll do that again. 1, 2. Well, let's see, is it gonna work? Oh, no, that one didn't work either. Try again. Ah, there we go, almost. So 1 graham cracker breaks up into 4 sections, but we can use these pieces to fill in the bottom of the plate. So you're going to use more of these graham crackers when you put the pudding in here. You're going to let the pudding cook. You're going to watch it come to a boil. And then you're going to do a layer of graham crackers, as I already did. A layer of pudding, a layer of graham crackers, a layer of pudding. And you can kind of guess as to how much for layers. It doesn't really matter. It can be 2 layers, it can be 3 layers, whatever you guys want to do. As the pudding has been cooking over here, you can see the difference, how it's getting thicker. And you have to keep stirring pudding. It's milk and it will burn. If I stop stirring, you will see what's happening. There's your bubbles. It wants to come to a full boil. Full boil, it's just about there. So you stir and stir and stir. And obviously this is the part you might have to consider doing by yourself as an adult without having your child help. But here's a nice full boil. It's getting thick. It's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. There you go. See that full boil right there? Fabulous. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to take some of the pudding and I'm going to pour it easily into the bowl. The graham crackers will move a little bit. And you can see now how it's starting to cover the graham crackers. I'm going to stir some more because it is still hot. Then you take your graham crackers again. Try to put them the other way on top. See about adding the pieces. Throw the pieces in. You can do this. You can do it any way you want because honestly, nobody's going to know what it looks like underneath. So now we're going to do some more. So you can see I probably put close to half of it in. So we're going to do a little more on the top. You can spread it around with your whisk. And I think it'd be good if you like more layers, make more layers. We're going to do another layer here. You put your graham crackers back on top and you put the pieces in. Those fractions we talked about that I completely messed up while I was trying. So there we go. So now we have another whole layer and we have a little bit of pudding left. This is going to be the final layer of pudding. You always want to stir it up because it does start to stick. I'm going to take the rest of the pudding. I'm going to put it on the top. And one of the things that we've talked about in our other videos are utensils that we use for cooking. So I'm going to get a spatula. We talked about spatula before, rubber spatula. And we can scrape the bottom of the pan with the rubber spatula. We can add more pudding to the recipe, to the bowl. Spread it out a little bit like this. And then the last step on the visuals where I wrote crush. So this will be fun for the kids. You have them crush it any way you want. Put it in a plastic bag and have them crush it. Put it in their hands if they were clean and have them crush it. I washed my hands. One of the things we always talk about before I cooked. So we're crushing it on top. You could put anything you want on top. Be creative, find something different. Here is your chocolate pudding graham crackers. Here's the recipe. It will be delicious, and now it needs to go into the refrigerator and cool. So if you want to make this for the day, make it in the morning so you can have it for dinner. Thank you, everybody. I miss my Downy friends. I hope you're all staying safe, and I look forward to sending you some love and more videos in the future. Bye-bye, stay safe.